78.6 F. You didn't see this part on the YouTube skit. 78.6 F is real time. I don't know what to do with my hands. Talladega Nights. That's what that was. 10 seconds, Robbie.
Oh,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I was born ready. 78.6 FM Yomatan. Positive vibes with Winsome. I am so excited for today's segment. As you guys know, this is my first Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning here in Japan Standard Time. If you're watching this back home and you forgot we're starting the morning show, hey, you can now tune in live every Friday night, right? Your time in the East Coast is 2100. Central Time is 2000, and over in the Pacific, where my little brother is, I believe it's 1800. If you want to tune in to Positive Vibes Radio Show with Winsome, and I'm gonna tell you what, the relaunch, and I'm gonna tell you why this is important to me and why this is magical the way this lined up. First day, relaunch, new show, new time. And my brother, Robbie McFarlane, is here. Robbie, how you doing, man? I'm doing great, man. It's so good to see you.
Dude, man. I wish y'all knew the energy. It's our first time meeting in person. We have been internet friends for a long time.
Couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's our first time meeting in person. I want to tell you why, and he may not realize it. I want to tell you why this is magical for me and why this is very heartwarming for me. Robbie, when I was trying to get started with everything I do outside of work, right, outside of my Air Force job, which was, I need a website, man. I need to really launch what I'm doing. I need to get out there and get this platform speaking to people so they can see I can capture it. I got all these things going on all over the world, and I just need to put it together. And Robbie was that guy. I remember we did a video together. He was like, go get him, brother. Robbie was that guy that said, hey, man, I can help you with that. And I'll never forget that. And his kindness when I was trying to get this started and launched and put it all together so you can see what Positive Vibes does is because this man believed in me, took the time out, and was kind enough to help me. And never, at any point in time, has there been a moment where I couldn't say, Robbie, I need you. And he jumps forward, man. And if I haven't told you, and I want to tell you in front of everybody listening, Robbie, I am so grateful that I'm so glad that you're able to make it. So, Robbie, who the heck are you, man? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who is your
Tell
daddy?
us a little about yourself, man, if you don't mind.
Oh, well, thank you for that introduction. Yeah, the feeling is mutual, and
Thanks,
I'm
man.
glad I can help you both with technology and
Yeah.
become close friends. It's,
right.
It means a lot to me, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Robbie McFarlane. I am just visiting Okinawa. I've been here 2 days now.
Really? Where you coming from, Robbie?
Tokyo.
Yeah.
But not originally. I'm originally from the UK.
Okay.
Sunny England. Nice little fine city called Norwich.
Nice.
But I've been in Tokyo for 8 years now. And yeah, this is my first time to Okinawa, and I'm super excited.
Let's go.
For what we've got planned. And yeah, it's just a real pleasure to be here.
Me and Robbie are about to have an adventure today. So he messed around and ended up in Yomatan. Y'all know what that means. I'm about to take this man all over the place. So Robbie came down. We had been talking about this trip since we got everything launched with the site, and talking to each other about what we want to do next in our journey. It's very rare, and I'm so glad to be able to share this with everyone. It's very rare to have someone who's going in a similar path as you, and you can talk to and bounce ideas off of, and that share your vision. You know, I've been in the United States Air Force for 24 years, and it was very rare to come across those opportunities in a service where I had someone who shared my vision moving forward and was able to, we can support each other when needed, right? We have talks for like hours. Like it just stopped. And then, of course, he'd be like, well, Winston, I got to go talk to you in 6 weeks. But we'll have talk and just put the vision together. So by the time we hang up, we know exactly where we want to go next. So, Robbie, man, how did you get from England, right, to Tokyo?
Yeah, very good question. So yeah, it happened 8 years ago. I finished my university degree in England.
Nice.
The UEA, University of East Anglia. Did computing science, and then worked for a couple of years doing software engineering,
Nice.
websites, mobile apps, and that kind of thing. And then I had the opportunity to do a working holiday in Tokyo, in Japan. And my brother actually was already in Tokyo, already in Japan.
And so he was like, you know, why don't you come out here and work with me and like, you know, do some contract work and just have a new experience, you know.
Nice.
Fly from the nest of your hometown and
Nice.
Experience the world. And it's like, well, this sounds like an amazing opportunity.
Right.
It'd be crazy to miss out on this. So, yeah. And I was lucky enough, you know, to be in the field that I'm in, that I can work anywhere in the world. So
very true.
Software and websites and apps. It was a no-brainer basically.
So how was that transition coming from England? What did you notice first when you arrived in Tokyo? What was the biggest difference?
Just the density of just like a complete, like going from like almost like a big village, Norwich, to like one of the most, most densely populated city on earth.
Yes.
It was, it took some adjustment, a bit of a culture shock, but it was exciting. And I was jumping into the same work, so that kind of kept me grounded.
It's something you knew.
Got
you. So when you got there, you got to Tokyo, you're moving. What was the things that you really enjoyed doing in mainland Japan?
Just exploring.
Nice.
And just like experiencing such a different culture. And everyone was so friendly and like inviting. It was just, and seeing both the kind of crazy city, but also the beautiful countryside and, you know, out near Mount Fuji and the lakes and it had it all. So
nice. Tell me some of the things that you've been able to do. Like, so you mentioned Mount Fuji. What are some of the things you've been able to do that you would have never thought yourself doing since you got to Tokyo? Never pictured yourself doing, should I say?
Well, I climbed Mount Fuji again the other day, so that was.
Who brags?
That was one.
Who brags on that? Who can just say that? Oh yeah, I want to climb Mount Fuji again the other day. By the way, man. Yo, what?
But I first climbed it in like 2010.
Okay.
When I came on a 2-month trip.
Got you.
And that was an amazing experience.
But who humble brags like that, though? My boy, I've been talking to him for 3 days straight. He has not mentioned climbing Fuji. He's like, yo, I just walked up Fuji the other day. What? How was that? So
it's amazing. Yeah.
For people who've never experienced climbing up Fuji, can you describe that for them, that experience for me?
It's just a way to, for me, it's a way to get out of your head and just like really, like, although it's not difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it can take 6-7 hours, but just to get out of your head and literally have a different perspective and look down on the world and they call it
the summit, right? That you get to the top of.
Yeah.
And you can look over.
Yeah.
Was the weather clear so you can see?
It wasn't this time. It was pretty wet and very cloudy.
Yeah.
But we stopped at 8 station and slept the night. Well, I say slept. I didn't get any sleep, but maybe 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then we headed up for summit at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
To get the sunrise. But unfortunately, it was pretty cloudy.
Overcast.
This time.
I wanted, for him saying it's not hard, I want my friend Riza Morales, I want you to hear that, because didn't you lose a toe going up Fuji? So Riza, I'm going to send you this clip because you lost a toe going up Fuji. My man walked up it twice, just casually, and you lost a toe. So I'm going to harass you after this episode. Just I had to throw that out there real quick. Riza, I miss you. I hope everything's going well on the East Coast and that you're staying safe from the hurricanes that are going on out there. And everyone who's listening in and watching this video, I hope you're being safe if you were surrounding that area that was affected by the hurricane. We love you, and we're keeping you in prayer. All right, Robbie, my bad, brother. So Mount Fuji, what else cool have you done in Tokyo, man?
Ooh. Like Kyoto is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hiroshima. It's just the whole, these experiences of experiencing something very different from England.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I'd say climbing Mount Fuji is one of the highlights.
Yeah.
But also just visiting, other areas of East Asia.
Okay.
And everything being quite accessible in that sense.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Robbie, you said you're doing computer programming. What else? Is there a name of your company out there in Tokyo? What's your company called?
Well, I'm freelance, so I kind of work for myself.
That was a plug. He didn't catch it. Let me see if he catches it.
Robbie McFarlane.
I'm me. So somebody needs some support, man, or wants to reach out to you. How can they reach you?
Via my website, I guess.
What's the website called, Robbie?
robmcf.com.
robmcf.com. Interesting. And at robmcf.com, how can you help people out, man? What do you do?
Well, anything from websites to full custom-built web applications.
Nice.
And mobile apps.
Let's go.
So I'm fully full stack and also cross-platform. So whatever you want to build, I can help.
In case y'all didn't hear it, all right, if you need some help, my brother said he's freelance. He builds his stuff. I got the bootleg website. I told him, I said, give me the $5 website, bro. And this is what, and mine's still really awesome. I said, Robbie, I got $5 in a packet of Bubblicious I'm going to send up to you for some gum. But no, all jokes aside, Robbie did an amazing job on my site, and it's so accessible, easily to maneuver and manage, and he's there to help out with any and everything you need, getting it going and keeping it going. So Robbie, robmcf.com. Did I get that right?
Yep.
That's my dude. I know it because I'm on the email all the time. But for those of you who don't know, Robbie is the man, and trying to get yourself set up, website set up. He does a whole lot of great things. Robbie, I have some questions for you, man. So you flew to Okinawa yesterday, or 2 days ago, right?
2 days ago, yeah.
What is it? So you're in a nice area. Tell me some things you want to do while you're here, man.
I want to have some fun with you.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I want to see some of the beaches.
Yeah.
I've explored the American Village yesterday.
That's right.
Beautiful weather.
Yes.
Bit too hot, almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it different from Tokyo here? Is it more humid here?
No, I mean, at the moment, yeah, it's a little bit more humid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But not, I don't know what it's like kind of a couple of months ago.
It's about to cook you in a minute. You
Yeah.
ain't seen nothing yet. It's still 10 in the morning. We about to be out there in a fire. Hey. So I'm taking Robbie on the express adventure in Yomitan today. So we're going to leave here. We're going to do some kayaking, right? Now, if I take you kayaking your family, I want y'all to understand that. If you get a text from you, say, hey, I'm going kayaking today, you want to roll, that means your family. Robbie's my brother, came all the way down here to hang out, man. We're getting on that kayak for at least an hour. Then from the kayaking, we're going to hit up Yomitan Village and Gala. Let me tell you something. We're going to get on them, what do you call them, scooters? The electric scooter? Me and Robbie, he's an electric scooter pro. I'm not. I'm learning, right? So we get on an electric scooter, and I'm going to take him from Gala, and we're going to go all the way to the lighthouse so I can show him my favorite spot, my mindfulness spot that you guys see all these pictures of. So me and him are going to take the electric scooter journey. And I did this before he came just so I can see if it actually made sense, right? It's one of those adventures. Okay, let me try this myself, right? And you'll see that adventure is where all them kids were like, ah! They see a big black guy on a scooter. They got excited. Like, what is going on? Oh, this is cool. Like, I was a superhero. It was so wonderful. I love Yomitan. So I get to explore Yomitan, my brother, today, and tested the waters out. We're going to go to the lighthouse, see the views there, get some great pics for him. And then I'm taking you zip lining, bro.
Yes.
We're going to do that zip line, man. So all these things are, and I'm so grateful. I wish you had more time, and I had more time with you with all the other stuff I got going on, because I want to take you to Iijima, which is the 30-minute ferry. We go across, and then you get to... Robbie didn't bring his driver's license. I'm snitching, bro. So basically, we can't get on the little mini cars in Iijima and explore like I wanted to. But next time. We got to do this again.
Definitely.
And he likes to pop up on you, too. So if you ever invite Robbie, he'll show up and then tell you after he arrives that he's there. 78.6 FM Yomitan. This whole first segment is dedicated to my brother. I'm so grateful that he showed up, man. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. I'm going to ask you some more questions about you when we come back, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to ask Robbie what his favorite movie is, what his favorite book is, and 3 places on his bucket list items that he hasn't gone yet, and how is he going to get to those places. He didn't know that last part. How are you going to get there? I got to give you an age limit, before the age of 50, right? Let's go. 78.6 FM Yomitan. If you haven't been tuning in, we are talking with Robbie McFarland, my brother all the way from Tokyo, programmer for computers. He's at Robbie@mcf.com, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Rob?
Rob MCF.
RobMCF.com. So if you guys are interested in getting anything like that set up, please shoot him an email. He'll take great care of you. This segment, as always, is dedicated to, and in case you guys forgot, Thumball.com, TrainersWarehouse.com, YouthLight.com, FreePeriodPress.com. My team over at 2RL that supports everything we do with coaching, and my new coach brother here. Thank you guys for making all of this possible, for your support, your trust in me representing your products, especially the first ones I named, Trainers Warehouse, Thumball.com, and Youth Light and Free Period Press. I'm not throwing the thumball around because this is a special day for me, right? But I'm definitely not going to forget to mention the folks that make sure this keeps happening every week. 78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Be right back after this break. Let's go!
I'll be all right.
78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes of Winsome. I just told Robbie about the headphones for the first time so he could hear himself, but he's just going to have to hear me the whole time. Robbie, man, I'm so excited to see you in the studio, man. This is usually a video chat. So this is awesome. Robbie, I have some questions for you, man. These are things that I've never asked you, so I'm going to ask you in front of so we can get to know Robbie McFarlane, my brother, visiting from Tokyo. If you haven't been listening, 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Robbie McFarlane is visiting from Tokyo by way of England and here in Okinawa to visit his brother and to see the sights, man. I'm about to throw him all around the country today, all around the island, should I say. And Robbie, what's your favorite book, man?
My favorite book would have to be the Tao Te Ching.
What is it called?
Tao Te Ching.
Oh, wow. By
Lao Tzu.
Wow.
Chinese philosopher.
Okay.
Who may or may not have existed, but the text exists.
Tell us about that.
It's less of a book. It's more kind of like a collection of poems, but beautifully. It's the most kind of spiritual book I've ever read. And it just by reading some of the poems, you can kind of meditate on each one of them for as long as you like.
Wow.
Days, weeks, and not have to rush through it. And it's very profound in its wisdom.
Nice.
But it gets you to reflect. And yeah, as I read it, I find myself kind of raising in consciousness just by read and trying to kind of understand what he's getting at between the lines. Like beyond the words.
You said the author is
Lao Tzu.
And the book is called
Tao Te Ching.
Y'all, in case y'all didn't hear that, if you need get some deep thoughts, some poems that are going to make you think about it, meditate on. That's a great, hey man, I'm going to have to write that one down. You see my friend, all this time, he's never told me about this book.
If I had to pick one.
If you had to pick one. All right, give me another one. Fair enough. Give me another
one. Well, it depends on what I'm, because I do a lot of learning. I'm always learning, so it depends on what I'm learning at the time.
If y'all ain't heard my brother's humble bragging, y'all hear this? Let's go.
So at the moment, like both of us are doing coaching. So coaching is a big aspect and something I'm wanting to get into more and more. So the Heart of Laser Focused Coaching is a big one.
Nice.
Love that book by Marilyn Franklin.
Okay.
And I also have the audiobook.
Ah, nice.
If I don't want to read, then I can just listen to that.
Let's go.
On the train. So yeah, that would be my next kind of favorite book.
I'm going to talk to you about coaching in the third segment, so I'm not going to dig too
deep.
Okay. All right, give me one more book that you enjoy. Page Turner. You can pick it up anytime and just get back into it.
I would, again, it's kind of less of books, it's more of works.
Okay.
Like Epictetus, so Stoic philosophy.
Epictetus?
Epictetus, and if I had to pick a book, then it would be maybe Marcus Aurelius' Meditations.
Jesus, man.
Roman emperor. Yeah, very powerful guy, but lots of wisdom in those books.
So you like the wisdom books?
Yeah,
the ones that make you think, you feel empowered.
Yeah,
I like
that.
East
and West, like philosophy.
Okay,
using that in combination with coaching skills, I think is very powerful.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's my dude, man. Told y'all that's why I love this guy, man. Look at him. Taking wisdom from all areas, putting it together to become the best version of you. Constant learner, consistently learning, always learning something new. That is dope, man. Laser focused coaching. We mentioned a couple of books that are out there for coaching. So if you're a coach and you need some book tips, man, let us know. We're all reading different books to get and become the best version. And by coach, I don't mean out there in the sidelines at a football game or a softball. I mean professional certified coaches through 2RL, both of ourselves and other companies that have actually walked us through some certifications to become better people to actively listen and take care of folks. All right, use that listening skills. All right, what would you want to do with that? Where do you want to go? Talk about that more in 30 seconds. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh. It's like maybe Terminator 2.
Terminator 2. Nice.
Yes.
T1000, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Wow, why Terminator 2? I am T100, he's T1000. Yeah?
I love it. As a kid, you know, from the age of like 5 or whatever.
Wow.
It's just a great action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it holds up well today.
And it does. Yeah, it really does.
It really does.
Yeah.
Who's that? James Cameron that did that one? If I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
I want to say, hey, that Terminator T100, T1000, whatever. Terminator 2 was one of the coolest movies ever when we were growing up, man. The liquid metal, the dude with the, and then your parents are already dead, right? Ask her a question. Like, that was one of the coolest movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you guys didn't see that.
And that ending, man. That ending.
Oh, gosh, yes. Remind us, how did it end, Robbie?
Oh, it's not the end, though. It's not the end.
Ah, there we go.
It's just the beginning.
Just the beginning. These are the movies that go back to go forward, right, to the Terminator movies. So I love that series. I kind of, for the last 2 movies, I think the last one I really enjoyed was the one with Christian Bale. The ones after that were kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
But Terminator series, I didn't see that one coming. What's your favorite movie? If I had to go right now, bam, Terminator. Let's go. All right, man. This is a good one for you, and this is good for me to know as your friend, right? So if you can go 3 places in the world, we'll go one at a time, that you've always wanted to go to on your bucket list, where would those locations be?
I want to go to New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Never been to New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and why?
Experience some beautiful scenery.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see New Zealand too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Which part of Canada?
Like Vancouver Island and
okay.
Yeah. That'd be
Canada. This is a cool place. Yeah. I know this guy, but this is cool. First time I'm hearing this. New Zealand and Canada. All right, I'll talk to you about Canada in a minute. I want to
go everywhere, but I only have one line.
Gotta narrow it down to 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I can only live once. All right, what's the third place?
I'd like to go to Mexico.
Nice.
As well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So New Zealand, Canada, he's so well-rounded, right? Look at that. New Zealand, Canada, and Mexico, right over here. All right, so why Mexico?
To experience the kind of spiritual side of it and the pyramids.
Nice.
And the food.
Nice.
And yeah. It's just always been one of those places I'm curious about.
I thought you were going to say Cantina, so I'm glad it's good. Nice. The pyramids, man, the history there is beautiful.
Yeah, just the history, yeah.
It's
and
amazing.
Just feel what that energy is like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said the second one, Canada. I got to see Niagara Falls on the Canada side. Bro, if you go out there, go see Niagara Falls. It's just surreal. It's really beautiful. And I know you like views and things like that too, so that's one of those places you got to see.
Nice.
Yes. 78.6 FM Yoma Time, Positive Vibes with Winston. I am talking to my brother Robbie McFarland, who is here visiting from Tokyo by way of England, bringing his magic all across the world. He just told us his 3 places he wants to hit by the. Now, my question, he said where he wants to go, so I'm asking how's he going to do it by the age of 50? Let's go, Robbie. How do you make those places a reality?
I think, well, luckily with the line of work that I do, it won't be too difficult.
Okay.
By 50.
Yeah, by 50, man.
Yeah.
Giving you some time.
Yeah, that gives me 16 years or so.
That's it. See how he aged me? Winston only gives you 30 days, but for me, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I hadn't planned that out, but yeah, maybe over the next 10 years or so.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So you're going to stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so if you wanted to go, say, for example, you want to go to Canada by the end of 2023, how would you make it happen? You know, I like these people with SMART goals. So I want to see how my boy Robbie breaks it down. Canada by the end of 2023, how would you make that happen?
I would book a flight.
I'd buy a ticket.
I'd get on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd make it happen. I mean, the question would be whether I would just want to have a strict like holiday there, or whether I would want to go out there a bit longer and do some work at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that would just be the main decision. But luckily, at the moment, I'm freelance, so I have that flexibility.
Yeah.
But maybe in the future, you know, who knows? Maybe that's not.
I love it.
Okay.
See where he starts, right? Come up with a plan.
Yeah.
How long am I going to be there? Bam. What's the requirements? I'm saying this to all these people out here, Robbie. And for you, my brother, we can talk about this anytime. But for you who are planning a trip to go somewhere and do something, the first thing that people worry about is it's going to cost too much. Right? So if you give yourself a time, a distance, okay, I'm going to say I want to do that within the next year. First thing, how much is it costing? What's the best season to go? Plan it. How much does it cost? What's the best season to go? Right? What flight route would I take? What do I need for requirements? Do I need a passport? Do I need a visa? Right? Hey, what window do I want to go in 2023? Am I accessible to go on those times based on him being freelance? Are you? Can you take leave during those windows? Bam. Where do you want to see? What do you want to see? My favorite thing is I like going places, Robbie. I don't know if you've ever done this. I just show up. Robbie did that for Okinawa, by the way. I just show up, right?
Yeah.
And then figure it out when you land.
Yeah.
I know where I want to go. I'm going to figure everything else out when I get there. It's so much freedom in that.
That's when the magic happens as well. It's so spontaneous. Like I didn't know this was going to happen.
Right. You're on the radio today. Right.
Yeah.
There's something special in when you just show up and you're taking your own power back, right? So people don't do those things out of fear. They have to have it down to a T. But when you can show up and just say, you know what, I want to do something today. So tonight or tomorrow. So tonight I'm going to jump on TripAdvisor and figure out what I want to do. Or today I'm going to jump on and start calling around for tours. And you just plan it as you go. My man, you said you walk down the street just to see the other buildings around, like other hotels for next time, right?
Yeah.
It's just exploring and just getting there. Niagara Falls, same thing. I just showed up. All I know is I want to see the falls. I had the story I told last week about the guy in Tokyo that said I didn't even have a plan. I just showed up and want to go up that big elevator, right? It's who are you? What are you trying to get out of these experiences? Do you have to have it mapped out? Or does that keep you, that anxiety and the unknowns and not asking all the right questions, does that keep you from actually moving and making those places a reality? Think about those things, because SMART goals start at just one step. Make a plan. And then from that plan, you start reverse engineering it. So you have that finish line. You know where you're trying to get to. What are the steps you got to take to get there? I joke with my brother and ask him how he's going to get there by the age of 50. But me and Robbie both know if you want to go somewhere and do something, we make it happen. So my encouragement to you is become a make it happen person, not the person who has 100 excuses why they can't do things. 78.6 FM Yomaton. I got serious. I'll be like, whoa, wait, we get serious. 78.6 FM Yomaton. Positive vibes are winsome. I'm here with my brother Robbie McFarland today. I'm really excited to have him in the studio for our relaunch, the 10 a.m. in the morning show of Positive Vibes radio show. Coming back, me and Robbie going to talk to you a little bit about coaching, what it is, how I pushed him in the water to do it. He had his toes in. I just pushed him all the way in. And what the experience has lined up for us next, man. Just going to have a convo with you. Be right back after this message. 78.6 FM Yomaton, Positive Vibes of Winsome, and my brother Robbie McFarland today, man, all the way from Tokyo by way of England. I keep saying that because guess what? He didn't just come just out of nowhere. He's been some places. Robbie, my brother, I heard rumors that you're a coach now.
It's true.
What?
It's true, yeah.
What is this? How did you become a coach, Robbie?
I think you know. I was bullied. No, I was convinced by you
nice.
and your experiences
Nice.
of a particular boot camp that you went on, a course. And so I went on the same course earlier this year.
Yes.
With 2RL.
That's right.
JR Flatter. That was amazing experience.
Awesome.
Really amazing experience. Because you're not just learning theory, you're actually you're diving in and you know, being a coach and also being coached.
Right.
With the rest of the cohort. So
Right.
it's an amazing experience to get that that live training.
Nice.
And it was me coming from not like a coaching background, but having an interest in helping people and helping people with mindset and overcoming anxiety, self-doubt, and these sorts of things, and fear. It just seemed like a bit of a synchronicity that you kind of mentioned this course, and so it was.
I said, Robbie, guess what
great.
I just did? I just became a coach. Hey, so Robbie had his toes in the water because the description, like I mentioned earlier, everybody hears the word coach, and they're thinking about the personal trainer or the guy on the sideline or the guy in the NBA coaching the team to run around. But in our profession and what we've been blessed to have the opportunity to do moving forward, coaching is helping people survive their worst days, helping people figure out how to solve their own problems, helping people navigate their own path. We're there to ask those questions to really gauge thought. If I'm not mistakenly saying this, we really want you come up with the answer. I'm not giving you advice. I'm throwing ideas at you because I see a picture that you're trying to paint for yourself. I'm trying to help you make that picture come to the painting that you want to achieve, not the one I want. I'm the coach. I'm trying to make you the best version of you, not a replica or a carbon copy of me. Along that journey, man, I know you didn't really have an idea of what coaching was, right? We all had these different things like life coach and spiritual coach and mindset coach. What did you learn going through that course about coaching?
Yeah, I initially thought I can't be a coach because I have to know everything about everything,
Right?
and all industries,
Right.
And now I know it's not about that at all, and I can coach anybody,
Right.
no matter what the industry is, because you're dealing with people.
Yep.
You're dealing with personas, and that's got nothing to do with the particular industry they're in.
Right.
And the main thing about coaching is that we don't worry about specifics about the certain thing that might be cropping up for them now, but we go much deeper and get to the underlying cause and really focus in on the root issue, so that they have profound and life-changing experiences,
Right.
and not just solving this one thing that's arising right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You're giving somebody tools, not just to solve one issue that they're dealing with, but how to solve problems and issues in the future based on the tool set that they have now, right?
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? You reached this thought on your own. I gave you some ideas, right? Some thoughts or questions, but you reached this conclusion on your own. If you can do that with this problem, you can do that with anything. It's just, how do you get there? So I love coaching. Been a mentor, supervisor, leader, advisor, counselor, all these times. But as a coach is like a different hat, and I love that hat. So I'm throwing people like Robbie. I told Robbie, it's time to get your feet in there, man. I put your toes in the water, pushed you into the coaching water. Now it's time. So Robbie's taking on clientele soon. I'm putting him out there in the universe, right? Y'all look at him. He ain't ready yet. It's coming. He don't know when. He don't know when. But I will tell you from that experience and sharing my brother as well is there's nothing like when someone walks in your office and the first thing he says is, I just need to get through this. I just need to figure out a way. And to help someone get there, and then the feedback afterwards, right? When they come back and say, hey, man, I'm so grateful because of our talks, this weekend, And hearing them say that is such a beautiful feeling, and that feedback is what keeps us going. We read of how to be better coaches. We read different books. We go through cohort training. And then, of course, we take on other certifications to try to be the best version of a coach that we can. But I can't wait for that part of the journey for my brother, because when he starts seeing the changes in people and others, and it also does something to you. JR mentioned that.
Definitely.
Woo! That changes you to see other people. You can see how they get through it and they navigate. It's like, wow, this is a real thing. And this is somebody who this might change their lives. And for some, save their lives, right? You never know what people are going through. 78.6 FM Yomitan, Positive Vibes will win something. I'm here with my fellow coach, Coach Robbie McFarland. I got to put that out there now. Got him. Robbie, so today we're going kayaking, right? I can't swim, so if I fall in, you got to get me quick, bro, all right?
Oh, God. Okay.
Let's go.
A bit bigger than I am, but...
You got to get me. Hey, then we're going zip lining. Robbie, you saw videos and went zip lining a few years ago, right?
I did.
It's game time, man.
I can't wait.
And so Robbie also bought his drone, but as you guys know, in Japan, in Okinawa, there's only certain areas and zones that we can use the drone in. So I'm trying to take him to some of these places so he can actually use it. Actually, the zip line has a drone for us.
Oh, okay.
They'll have their own drone that's up. And if we have more time, man, oh gosh, I wish I could have taken it to Iijima, because you can fly that bad boy around the entire little island. Gala. I'm going to talk about that next week, and I'm going to send some pictures on the website. Gala today, where we're getting the, I believe it's called, don't even get me the line. Anyway, we're getting scooters. I'll bring up the name of every one of these locations next week. So we're getting the little electric scooters. We're going to go a little distance to get to the lighthouse, but I want to go on a journey with my brother, not just jump on some scooters and go back and forth. So I'm going to take him on a little journey today. If you guys are in the Yomitan area, 78.6 FM, Yomitan, right? So if you're in the Yomitan village, go down to Gala. From horseback riding, food, beaches, kick scooters, or whatever you call electric scooters, they have everything there. The lighthouse is down the street. So if you haven't been down there to venture and explore Gala, please go. 78.6 FM Yomitan. I was down there exploring the place for my brother's visit, because I had two different places I want to take him. It was going down to Gala and exploring, going to Iijima, or just up to the north, right? And Robbie, that's the next trip too. So the north is, we got to take a whole weekend, right? This one I have to work, so I'm cutting half for my brother. But going up to the north, Robbie, you got the museum, you got the aquarium, you got Cape Hato, you got, just on and on and on. There's Cordy Island up there. Oh, and you go over this beautiful bridge. So I'm going to try to take him as far as I can today before the sun goes down. I got so much I want to show him. If you've never been, start in Yomitan, branch out, go to Ona, head on north. Going to the other side, we'll talk about another time, because this is where my house is, right? This is where the family is here in Yomitan Village. So 78.6 FM Yomitan, Positive Vibes of Winsome. I want to kind of give a segue into next week, Rob, if you don't mind, brother.
So sure.
There's a book he read called Anti-Fragile. There's a book I read called Happier No Matter What. There's concepts that I want to share with everyone coming up next week. It'll be my last week until I got to go to what they call the Senior Non-Commissioned Officer Academy. 6 weeks of learning to be a great leader. So I joke and say 6 weeks I'll never get back, but it's not. It's 6 weeks that's really going to be a lot of energy poised into making me a greater senior NCO for the United States Air Force. So I'm looking forward to the experience being back in the U.S. for 6 weeks. But what that does to this show is that means that I'm going to be off the air for a few weeks, right? Doesn't mean we won't be still doing things online. Of course, on the side, if I get inspired, I might drop a message or a video or something out there if I see something cool in the U.S. But ultimately, Positive Vibes Radio, 78.6 FM, for 6 weeks. We will not have a show. So I wanted this one to be the kickoff. Man, I couldn't kick this off any better way. It just worked out, right? The first weekend I'm on the morning show, which is huge to have you here. And I'm so grateful, man. I'll never forget this. I think whatever topic I had going into this week, I just completely threw it out the window when I heard my brother was coming. And it could wait, because this is very important and to me to have you here, because you were such a huge part of the journey getting here. So thank you so much, Robbie, man. I can't tell you enough, brother. Man, it's my guy. I'm about to throw him in the water while we're kayaking. So if you guys haven't done so already, Iijima Island, that is another beautiful island. Cordy Island, another beautiful island. But of course, you guys know my favorite place is the lighthouse. One of my goals, Robert, we talked about places you want to see Three of your favorite places you want to drop before on your bucket list, right? For me, I want to see every island in Okinawa or in Yomatan, and of course Okinawa, and of course in Japan before I PCS or retire from the United States Air Force. No matter what my next chapter holds, I want to be able to just check each lighthouse that you can walk inside and go to the top. Check them off my list. For me, it was really cool to see them. And every lighthouse I've ever been in, when you go up to the top, the views are always beautiful. And the purpose behind those lighthouses is always something special, the story, the history. And I know those stories, right? Just one of those nerdy things that I have on my bucket list to do before I leave here, right? I don't know how long I'm going to be here, so I want to take advantage of that for the next 2 years, make those trips. Another thing, Robbie, that I want to do here is try to see as much of this island as possible. So there's so many more islands that adjoin Okinawa. So you're not going to get to see Ishigaki, right? Hopefully I can get to the Kori. But these are all islands that are connected to Okinawa. Miyako, right? And every one of those islands, Robbie, has its own story. It's crazy. It's all Okinawa, but it's a different piece of Okinawa. Miyako was one of my favorite places because I got fat that weekend eating burgers. I ate a bunch of burgers, man. Kori, the bridge, going over there and exploring that. I have not been to Ishigaki yet. And it's one of the most beautiful places I heard in Okinawa. And you can also go scuba diving there. I know you like to scuba.
Going tomorrow.
Let's go.
Yep.
And that's over there. Also, you have the Karamas, right? The Karama Islands are right on the other side. Robbie, there's so much too, and he only gave me a couple days. That's how he treats me, right? He only gave me a day. I only gave him a day, really. But there's so much to explore, so you got to come back, right? I want him to promise on that. Robbie, you promise you're going to come back and visit us, man?
I promise.
Let's go.
Yeah. It's not a hard promise to make.
78.6 FM Yomatan, Positive Vibes of Winsome. If you've ever listened to the show, my tagline is "You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it." And I mean that. I'm a text, phone call, email away. The website is positivevibesradioshow.com. Fight for your next day, man. And we talk about coaching and we talk about the journey, right? And there's so much I can't wait to speak to you about next week when we start talking about anti-fragility. Just to give you a brief overview of what anti-fragility is, as so many people talk about resilience, and I see so many memes talking about I'm tired of being resilient and all the stuff that I can't wait to dive into next week. But what it boils down to is resiliency to a lot of people is being able to endure, getting punched in the chest and standing up still, right? Or falling and getting back up to the same standing that you were doing, coming back to the same state that you were in, surviving it so you can be back to normal is what resiliency for a lot of people in their mind, they think resiliency stands for. Right, resiliency to the old terms of dropping the ball and it bounces back to you, this buoyancy. However, I want to talk next step, next level. In anti-fragility, if you guys have been looking at my little memes and the hashtag anti-fragile, and I can't take all full credit for that because I have a friend, and I'll mention him next week, who sent me a YouTube link on this. But anti-fragility is going through things. As me and Robbie both know, being able to survive your worst days. Learning those lessons that you experienced throughout those journeys, right? The pain. What did those tears mean? What was the story that I got from that? What was the lessons I learned? How did I come back? But the best part about it, and you've heard me say this, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do next, is you come back stronger. You learn the lesson, you apply the lessons, and you come back stronger than before. I would always say this, Robbie, always, every show, but I never had a word for it, and then these books hit me. The book you read and the book I read, and my friend who sent me the link of the YouTube, which is what sparked me, is anti-fragility. And I can't wait to talk to you next week about the books and the topic. See you next week.